Good morning. It is June 11th, 2018. It's Monday morning, folks. This is episode 129. Wow, 129 videos. This is super early in the morning. It's like 3:09 a.m. when I'm making this. And the reason I'm making this now is because I need to go ahead and draw my next cartoon. I slept way too long. I tried to go to sleep at like 4 to take a nap, and it just wouldn't work. Wouldn't work at all. And then I just kind of like got up a couple times, messed around, and doing nothing. And then I think I finally kicked in about nearly 11. So then I woke up at 3. So I slept like 4 hours, I guess. Friday morning, I thought, or was it Friday night? I think I was thinking, I should do something on Anthony Bourdain, but I don't want to do something like stereotypical obituary cartoon. And then I thought, it's not so much about Bourdain that I want to do. I want to do something on suicides. And I saw a few cartoonists had done some stuff. None of them were too bad. I didn't think any of them were great or whatever. But I went out Saturday night to see a friend do a book reading for a book that he wrote. And it didn't stay out too late. I got home about 11. But while I was out, I was still thinking about this. And I thought, I don't need to do an extra cartoon this weekend, but I just knew I'd end up doing something. And then about maybe some point in yesterday morning about 11, it just hit me to do this. And I thought, that's really kind of a horrible idea. I might get some backlash for that. And I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I haven't received any backlash yet. If anything, I've gotten a lot of praise for it, which really surprised me. I had some people who haven't seriously considered suicide write me about this and just tell me, how much it touched them and affected them, and I'm like, wow, that's like a reward right there. I mean, anytime that my work speaks to someone individually on something very, very personal, and then they tell me about it, that's just a huge payoff. I mean, I don't even know how to put that into words about how much that means. To think that my work, while I'm sitting here at this table drawing goofy cartoons on most days, and my top skill is making fun of people. I mean, that's what I do for a living. I think I do important stuff, or on important issues or anything. I don't want to build my head up too much, but and I use my number one skill to do that, which is mocking people. So whenever it comes back, or occasionally it comes at me that, that it spoke to someone so much, is just really valuable to me. I don't even know how to put that into words. At least before I'm learning Spanish, I don't know how to put that in Spanish either. But I don't know how to put it in English. It's just, I don't know how to express to you how much that's just really awesome. So I feel like, I feel like I'm not qualified to talk about this kind of stuff so much. Because, I've been depressed, and I think everybody has thought about bad stuff like this, and I've been in a dark place, but I don't think that makes me qualified to counsel anyone. I mean, I can be an ear and I can be a shoulder, but I definitely cannot preach to people. I can't preach to somebody and say, don't kill yourself. I'm not a professional, like that. So many people, just have a deeper experience with it, or they've had counseling, or they've had training, and who am I? As I said, I make fun of people mostly for a living, so that's pretty cool. But I was really looking forward to drawing this as soon as I thought of it, and I was going to go and have breakfast yesterday morning, and I put off drawing the cartoon about an hour, but I was kind of starting it, sketching it, and then I said, screw it, I'm not going to have breakfast. I was waiting on a friend to go with me, and then I was just I canceled it, and I went ahead and made a coffee and got to work. So, and I did not write a blog for this. And the funny thing is, after not writing a blog, 3 or 4 people asked me, how come there's no blog? And I thought, it just speaks for itself. I didn't want to add any more to it. I just didn't want to. But I'm really glad I did this. Who wants some shout outs? I'm a huge Anthony Bourdain fan, though. I mean, I really did love the guy. I had like read up on him in the past. Went through his Wikipedia page more than once. Before he killed himself. I was going to say died, but let's just be honest. He killed himself. And I really hate it. But the thing that puzzles me is that success doesn't ward off depression. It doesn't. Because he was the one guy that I could look at and say, he has the best job in the world. He does everything everybody wants to do, which is travel and see the world and eat. And I'm with him on that. I'm always more interested in like the street food and the stuff, that's the cheaper stuff like real people would eat than the fancy restaurants. We're running out of time, aren't we? Oh, not too much. Today's video is not as long. So yeah. Okay. Going to. Oh, by the way, I made the Washington Post Saturday, so yay me, yeah. And I was really surprised. I talked about that one. It was the Cal cartoon, and I had mentioned that Lukovich had done the same thing. And I thought, well, if the Post runs me on Saturday, it'll be my Capitals cartoon. Nope, they didn't run that one. They ran the one where Lukovich came behind me, the same one, which I thought, I was surprised they used mine, and not his, because they love him. He could probably just mail it in, literally, and they would run him normally. Alright, Quan liked my caricatures. Like to really, yeah, that was my G7. There's so much more to do in the G7, but I had just done one, so I'm not going to do that with my next cartoon. I'm not even going to do North Korea, because after I do it, tomorrow night's the meeting, so I think I'm going to wait till after the meeting tomorrow night, and then think about what I'm going to do. And, yeah, I hadn't researched the new Italian Prime Minister enough, Quanta, but you're right, he is a total right-wing fascist wannabe, just like Trump. Yeah, Bannon campaigned for him, that tells you a lot. And Kent talks about how Trump looks up to Putin. And it's weird that he just loves Putin so much, and he can't say anything negative about Russia, but he can about Canada. Stupid as that. That's a cartoon right there. And Arrow talked about the way I enunciate things in my adorable southern accented voice. It is adorable, isn't it? Alright. Try not to be too loud because, I have people asleep in this house and a cat asleep in this house. I think the cat's asleep. Cat are you asleep? Trying to sleep. I had a dream last night. I was about to buy a house and I went and it was haunted. And I opened the door and I heard that sometimes the house screams at the door. And I went to look at it a second time and it screamed. And I said, nope, not moving in here. And the scariest thing about the dream, I was still married. That's when I woke up. And Robert commented, I don't know why I just thought about that dream. Normally I forget dreams like 10 minutes after I wake up. Robert, yeah, you wonder what I'm wondering. He wonders how Trump says he could be stabbed in the back by Trudeau. Trump has been insulting him, and then he goes to G7 and leaves, and Trudeau says, I'm going to stand up for Canada. Would be nice, but we're not going to be pushed around. And Trump says, what, a stab in the back? About a week. It has Justin Trudeau. But he insults the guy before he gets there. He gets there, he makes nice. And then he yells, it's a stab in the back. Not everything that people disagree with you as president is a personal betrayal. It's not an attack on you. Trump is always just the victim. Always, just pain and suffering for him. The president cannot go into international relations and decide policy based upon how he feels he was treated. I can see him looking at it, how was the American president treated, but not individual Donald Trump. And that was one of the concerns about him during the election. That people just freaking ignored. Well, the people who voted for him. Yeah, I could do. Did you hear Blame Canada in the background? That's on the news. I could totally do that. Something on that, but I just did something in G7. So, I got another issue I'm going to do. Here's your cartoon. We are done. And I need to get this video posted and out of my way so I can move on with my life. Do the next cartoon. I have the coffee prepped. I gotta go to work, people. Thanks for coming by. Give me a like and a comment on this cartoon. And I didn't get that funny and goofy today, did I? Well, a little bit. Told you about that weird dream. Share this on social media. And, yeah, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.